Hey, let's talk about one of the sharper tools in the shed who just pulled a huge upset on the leftist side of this mania. A singer reached out to me when he had 62,000 views on a song, and I started sharing it, and it's gone viral. But what do you need to know about it? Well, this right-wing influencer, now that's not as objective, wrote a song about the common man paying exorbitantly high taxes, having politicians like Richard Blumenthal and Senator Murphy basically privately scam you with bribery, and even judges like Judge Meyer in Connecticut and all the other judges in Connecticut need a very close look, folks. What I want to say is, in the lyrics of this song that they attacked him on, now they're attacking him. Let's play part of the attack and then you'll understand. Let's play part of the attack.
Really telling, in my opinion. But I mean, you're seeing the first title here. Right-wing influencers just found their new favorite country song. Like, let's go another title. Viral right-wing anthem by country singer Oliver Anthony, branded offensive and fatphobic. Richmond, north of Richmond, hitmaker Oliver Anthony has gone viral with right-wing pugnance.
If you're someone who cares about the foods you put in your body, today I want to tell you about the difference between these two beef sticks and why...
Okay.
How an obscure country artist... This is NBC too. Or is it ABC? No,
Let's just halt this for a second.
How an obscure country artist's viral song
became
a conservative anthem.
And I've been attacked.
As if this is not something that all people can identify with.
20 years.
Is Oliver Anthony the new Jason Aldean? Some folks think
his real name is Chris, okay? So Chris reaches out to me on Twitter, which I couldn't believe. He knocks this song out, and what's funny is this. Watch. You see this title? What does it say? It says, Oliver sings, it's climbing, he appeared from nowhere. Hold on. Now, Jason Aldean saying that, try this in a small town. And the mindset here, he sings a line about miners on an island, folks. He is talking about Epstein Island, okay? All the rich and all the famous going out to Epstein Island to have sex with children. And this guy, he sneaked it out there with nobody listening. It didn't dawn on them that he's talking about child sex abuse. Now here we go. How does it strike home with politicians? I'll tell you. The most raging political animal is Richard Blumenthal, my U.S. Senator. He wrote the Iran deal, folks. He wants to pay terrorists bribes not to blow us up. He wrote the Green New Deal. He wants to take away oil and gas, strip mining from Virginia, okay? He wrote the late-term abortion bill where you can pull the arms and legs off a baby at 8 months. And you can even abort children after they survive an abortion. This is what this kid's talking about. And he got it under the radar. And he hit 8 million views yesterday. After 1 week, when he was at 62,000 views, we shared it, and we said, wow, look at this video. He is talking about Epstein Island in the song, folks. Miners on an island. He's not talking about Virginia strip coal miners. He's talking about children. So, support this guy. He's under attack. He's just like me, under attack Our last rulings from judges in Connecticut are devastating. Why? Because one of them is a drug addict, and he's on the bench, and Connecticut won't do anything about it because he was appointed by the governor. Excuse me. The administrative judges know that Judge White is on Oxy, goes to Dr. Ahuja, who claims he bought multiple judges. I claim, just throw it out there, this is a guess, folks. Based on Judge Blowey's actions, he is bought. Or he is compromised. Kavaniewski definitely bought. I can maintain that all day long, since 3 of the people threatened at gunpoint, pretty much, stretching that a little bit, are plaintiffs in a lawsuit that Judge Meyer just dismissed on 5G. Now here we go. Blumenthal took 18 bribes on 5G. Why did Charter Communications in Stamford, Connecticut pay him 60 grand? Why did Charter Communications pay him 60 grand? Why is Verizon off the hook, left off the hook? Because Verizon granted access to the Chinese government to hack the American election in 2020. It's a fact, folks. Got all the evidence. Got piles of stuff on the floor here you can't see. I'm not a slob, but there's just volumes and volumes of evidence here. So, I got it all backed up. And you need to back this Chris up. Back Chris up. Why? Because the miners on the island are a profit center for Richard Blumenthal, my U.S. Senator, and Senator Chris Murphy, Department of Homeland Security, Senate Subcommittee Chair. What is he doing? He's censoring you through the GEC. He doubled the budget. The Department of Homeland Security turned around and forced the Department of Motor Vehicles to register all illegal aliens as voters. Then they mailed them an absentee ballot without verifying their citizenship, and mailed them an absentee ballot at God knows what address, so those votes could be collected by the DNC in Connecticut, collected and dropped in the drop box by mules paid for by Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg gave $1.455 million to Connecticut to hack America. In certain cities, like Philadelphia, where there were 190 drop boxes in Democratic areas, they went to 800 drop boxes. Why? How did 12,000 votes go to a drop box in an area with only 4,000 voters? In other words, the average Republican had 71,000 voters per drop box. The average Democratic voter had 4,000 voters per drop box in Philadelphia. How did they collect 12,000 votes in a drop box for 4,000 voters? The truck full of votes that came from the absentee ballot in the truck from New York that went to Pennsylvania was courtesy of your U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer. And when we get back to this human trafficking question raised by Chris, Anthony Oliver, you say to yourself, Richard Blumenthal was Attorney General of this Connecticut from 2006 to 2016, 10-year period. 400 human traffickers were arrested in that time frame. 0 prosecutions. Did you hear what I said? I said 0 prosecutions. He gave awards to the hookers. Awards. And then he prosecuted hookers. But not the Johns. Not the Johns. Not the human traffickers. What happened in Waterbury is devastating. The Waterbury police have a hotel with women chained in the basement who had their fingers cut off to torture them by some unsavory characters. Was it prosecuted? No, it wasn't. We have an ongoing investigation, John Flynn. Really? My ass. My ass. Who can take that seat from U.S. Senator Blumenthal? No one, while his son's in charge of the election commission in the state of Connecticut for his father. No one can take the Death Star from a Sith Lord. Except for guys with the Force. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. You gotta listen. You gotta follow this. Where we're going here is unbelievable, okay? And I thank Chris for reaching out to me at 62,000 views. And my brother is going to have 100 million views very soon. Watch. We're sharing it, and it's taking off. We're sharing it. It's taking off. And the Richmond, north of Richmond, he's referring to politicians just like U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal, author of the Iran deal, taking bribes. How did Chris Murphy in 11 years go from zero net worth to 480 million? Because he has Burisma's lobbyist, Leitner, from Connecticut. He's got ML Strategies. He uses the same lobbyist as Hunter Biden. The Biden's got 27 million from Ukraine because Ukraine did not fire the special prosecutor in charge of the investigation into the lobbyists starting World War III. Is that clear? Are we clear on that? This is a huge hoax perpetrated by criminals that need to go to jail. And what we're doing now, there's one guy in Stamford, Connecticut, now he's in Westport, Connecticut, with 22 cases against judges. I only got 7 or 8. I can't go fast enough, but I've got 3 appellate court judges, and he's going for the Stamford Superior Court. I have a few there, but there's over 25 judges in the Stamford Superior Court now that have capias writs, warrants for their arrest. There are only 3 appellate court judges in the mix: Bright, DiPentima, and Alford. Now, the next judge is a federal judge. Judge Meyer did a big no-no. Watch and see. He thinks I'm a conspiracy theorist. Because radiation, he thinks, which is 5G, he thinks it doesn't cause cancer. He thinks it doesn't cause infertility, and he doesn't think it causes autism. Listen to my final words carefully. The 5G case in Connecticut is astounding and rebounding, and if you read it and you follow it, it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. Why? Why? I'll tell you why. Because conspiracy theory about election fraud is actual conspiracy. The Chinese nationals ran the Connecticut and U.S. election. It's a fact. LHS has an owner from the CCP who bought Dominion on 10/20/2020 prior to the November election of Trump. LHS has servers in Germany, Israel, Spain, other places. The Serbian software company programmed the memory cards. The memory cards are destroyed by Gabby Rosenberg and Scott Bates, possibly the 2 biggest criminals in American history. Possibly the 2 biggest criminals in American history. Who squashed the subpoena for the cast vote records? Judge Meyer. put him in pinstripes, and put him in Leavenworth forever. Forever. Because judges hate pro se litigators, and they deny them their constitutional rights. They deny all rights to articulation, clarification, discovery, subpoena. Subpoena. 350 lawsuits, 500 subpoenas, no production, no articulation, no admissions, folks. There are 40-something admissions in the 5G Connecticut lawsuit, not signed by elected officials who are making every child autistic, making every child cancerous, making every child infertile. Rock and roll. Let's go on with the show. And I thank you. Have a great day. Oliver Anthony is talking. Anthony Oliver is talking. Chris is talking about human trafficking. The miners on an island are Epstein's Island.